Hello everybody, my name's Renee and this is my cash dipping journey. If you're new here, thank you so much for taking a chance and clicking on this video. I hope you decide to like, subscribe and stick around for a while. And if you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for your ongoing support. So today looks a little bit different. I thought I would do another how-to video and we could do a how to make a savings challenge using Canva. Now, I am by no means a wizard at Canva. I kind of have a basic understanding of it. I like to think I'm pretty good at making the savings challenges, but that pretty much is all I really use Canva for, apart from my work. It's really useful. So there is going to be some sections where I can't show you just because it has personal information either for myself or for my clients. But when you open Canva, now Canva is either free or you can do a paid service. Now I do a paid service because I use it all the time and it is $17.99 a month, and for me it is well worth it. The option, you get a lot more options in regards to the images you can use. So to me, it's worth it. If you're just going to be using Canva to create your own savings challenges, you can do a lot with the free version. So don't feel like you have to get the paid version. You can do it with free. I did it for quite a few months with just the free version until my Etsy store started to pick up, and I knew that I was going to have to get the paid version because I needed a bit more variety and more options just because of the sheer use I was getting out of it. So when you open Canva, all you need to do is sign up for an account. If you're a business or like a small business, you can upload your logo, which is what I've done over here in the corner, and you can store that logo on Canva and reuse it over and over again. So what I've done here is, this is just the opening page. You can see some of my designs down here at the bottom, and this is what it looks like. Now Canva is one of those things that there is so many options and choices and templates that it's the best thing to do is just go into there and just play, just click stuff, investigate stuff. But what we're going to do is just do a savings challenge. I need to update my retirement savings challenge, so I thought we could do that together. So when you have, if you want to do something, for example, you want to do a resume or a letter, you could do an invitation, you could do a thank you letter, you could do an official letter, anything you want to do, type it into here first, which is the search menu. Now you can either click on projects if it's your own. So say you've made a savings challenge and you can't be bothered scrolling through everything, just click on your projects and type in the title or one of the words in the title, and it will pull up all of your designs that matches that word. Now I'm doing you can tell that I've done it here, see? So at some point I've clicked on projects, typed in 20 and 5, and I was looking for my 20 for 20 savings challenge and my 5 for 5 savings challenge. So with the template, I always do letter when I am creating a new savings challenge, and these are all the options of letters that you can pick from. Like, the list is never ending. I even did some Santa letters at Christmas time for a couple of people. So all I did was get one of these templates and make a customized letter to a couple for a couple of kids at Christmas. So like, there is so much, and you can change nearly everything on these letters. So say for example you liked this one with the butterflies but you didn't like the background, you can change the background. You might even recognize this from my scratch off challenge. That's what I used to make it. So there is just so many options. Like, I could go all day just going through templates. So, but I'm going to click on a blank one. Okay, so up here is the name. Now I always rename mine because I always forget, and then I'm trying to look for them later and I never remember. So A6 Retirement Savings Challenge is what we're working on today. Okay, so now that we've got the name, now down the side here is a whole bunch of options. Now before we get into those, depending on what size you want for your savings challenge. So I always choose A6. So I go into up here. Now this is a pro feature. So being able to resize is a paid service. But you could easily adapt it to an A4. So for example, if you want an A6, you could just create a section here for like the size of an roughly the size of an A6. Now there is a lot of trial and error. So for example, you'd create a design, then give it a print and see how it fits and then make adjustments based on that. But it would be quite easily to fit multiple savings challenges on one page if you didn't want to do the paid service. So I'm going to go into resize. Now I am in Australia, so we use centimeters rather than inches. But you can change, like if you click here, you can change if you want to do centimeters, millimeters, inches, or pixels. So I am doing an A6. Now for me, an A6 works well when it's 18 by 10. I mean 10 by 18. Now if I wanted to do, that's vertical. If I wanted to do horizontal, I would pick 18 by 10. And then we're going to hit resize. Now, when I said I do 10 centimeters by 18 centimeters, that's 10 centimeters by 18. That is that whole white section there. So what I went and did is I measured an envelope, like a zippered envelope, and got the dimensions of that, and that's roughly this, roughly. So that when I work in this section here. So, down the side here, is design, elements, uploads. We're going to do a quick rundown of each one so that you know what the use is for. If I don't know the use, I'll tell you because it means I haven't used it and I don't have any concept of it. So design is just if you wanted to break this page up. So for example, if you're doing savings challenges on an A4 sheet, you could pick this one here and it divides it into 3. So you would be able to put 3 savings challenges on one page if you worked in those frames. Say you wanted to do like a collage, you could pick those ones. So there are so many options to play with when it comes to Canva. And there is so many styles. Like it's never ending, to be honest, never ending. Okay, so elements. So these are all like the images that you are going to use. So for example, I always, can you tell I was designing something the other day? Alright, so I always put a border on mine. Now, see when I click on that and that border lights up? That is the size that works best for my A6 challenges. So my design is going to come up in that dark purple box. So that's where I put my border to, and that lets me know the design surface I have to work with. So that when I print this, I cut it, and that's how big it's going to be. Then I laminate it, then by the time I cut that fits perfectly into an A6 zippered envelope. I hope that makes sense. So once you've selected your border, I mean you don't have to have a border, but I find it is easier for me to work with, and that's just the design that I like. So I don't want this gold color. Now I have uploaded my logo, and see these colors here? You can create what's called a YouTube design packet. So I've uploaded my logo, and as a result, all of the colors in that logo have populated this section here. So I can, if I'm editing something and I need my logo colors, they're very easily accessible. You can also add fonts to this. So it pulls the fonts out of my logo and has them easily accessible. So let me see, let's pick a color. Let's go. I think I'm feeling a grey today. Grey? Give it a go. We can always change it. So I'm going to choose a grey border. So you just click up here on this coloured square, and that brings up all the colours. Now, if you don't want one of these colours, you come up here to this one and click it, and then it opens this window. So you can literally go through all of these colours and select anywhere on here, and that's the colour that will populate. So if you look here in the grayscale, that means the colour I've chosen is right there in the colour scale. This number here, say you want a particular number, right? Could be anything, a particular colour. You go into Google and you say pink HTML colours. Go to images. Now, see all of these pinks? Now, say we click on this one. Now, all of these colours here, you can then put into Canva. So, say for example, I'm just going to have to get a pen because I've got to write, I'll have to write it down. So, say for example, we want flamingo. It's hashtag FDA4BA. That number just here. Go back into our thing with the number here. Get rid of this one, which is what we had on the outside. And in its place, click FDA4BA. And see how it's changed? See that pink? So that has now put in flamingo as the colour. And you can do that with any colour as long as you get that HTML code. So go back into it. As long as you get that code, you can put anything you want in there. Any colour. You can do, I've never tried to do like metallics or shimmers or anything. But yeah, basically any colour, that's where you go. That's how you can upload it. So that's a nice little trick that I use sometimes. If there's not the colour I want here and it's not really up here, or I can't find it, I can't get the right shade, that is how I do it. Okay, so elements. I actually really like that pink. I'm going to keep it. Elements. Now these are the pictures you're going to use. So I am doing retirement. So click on retirement. And I'm going to click graphics because I like the graphics. So now a lot of the time I like background images, and I really like this one. This one's really cute. I like this one. Look at that. Now if you want a different version of that, click on this see all, and it gives you all of the images that this person has made that are similar to the one you've got on the page. So let's go up and let's see if there's one that I like better. I like this one. So let's get that one. Oh, I like this one actually, with the piggy. And see how the pink in the pig matches the pink in my border. So when you click on an image, it has this box around it. So you can either adjust it this way, you can adjust it this way, you can make the whole image larger or smaller. So that's the best way I found to do with those images. So I'm going to have this right there, I think. Okay, so with this one, that one might be a bit dark for me. So once I've got all my images in there, I'll come back and I'll show you what we might do with that one. But yeah, anything you want goes in here. So go back to retirement, because now that we've got our background image, we need to look for one that's going to be our logo that we colour in. So let's see. And there is often like so many images to choose from. This generally takes me like a long time, unless I find one like straight away that I really, really like. It generally takes me a while to find one. I like this one. So if I like the look of it, I will click on it and bring it up into the image, and then I can go back and edit them later and pick which one I really like. See, this one's not too bad with the house. Now on these images, see this crown? If it says Pro, that means it's paid. So it's part of the paid options. But there's still plenty here that are not paid. So you've just got to go through and find the one that best suits you. I think this piggy was on my original one, which I don't mind because the background image is big, so we might keep that one. But what we're going to do is, if I'm going to make edits to this, I always add another page, because then you're not trying to work with all of this. So this bit here, see this C in there? I want to get rid of that, and I want to put an R in there for retirement. So what I'm going to do is I need a circle to do that, because I need to get rid of this C. So I pick a circle and see how that's blotted that out. Now I make it smaller so it fits. Now this one here is duplicate, so that means make a copy. This one is delete, or you can, like your normal menu, copy, paste. Now send it to the back means you send it behind an image. Sending it to the front means you're bringing it in front of an image. So we need it in front, but I can show you if you like. So we're going to populate that in there. Now I'm as blind as a bat, so you can, down here is a zoom option, so you can zoom it right in so that you can, okay, so see how that's covered that C? So if I was to send that to the back, send to back, see how it disappeared? Okay, the image is still there, it's just behind this pig. So then now we're going to send the pig to the back, and then see how it's back again? Okay, now I want to have that there permanently, so what we're going to do is, to make sure it all stays in one piece, I'm going to highlight both, so see how they're both lit up, and then we're going to go up here and we're going to group it. So then now, see how it's become all one image? It means that you can move this around now, and that circle will always stay there. Now I want to change it for retirement, so we're going to go down into, I can't show you my uploads, because that's one of the parts that's got personal information in it. Say you've got a picture on your computer or your phone. You've downloaded a digital paper, or a digital image or clip art or anything. Say you've downloaded anything you wanted, but it's on your computer. You click on this upload. If you're editing thumbnails for your videos, you click on that upload, you upload the image into Canva, and then you can edit it using all of these tools. It's often how I used to make my thumbnails. If I want to show a picture in a video, I will edit it in Canva. So, for example, my new car arrived, which I'm so excited about, and I want to show pictures, but I don't want to show the license plate. So I will upload the image into Canva. I will black out the number plate so you can't see it, and any background information that I don't want anyone to see, and then I will put that into my video. So that's what the upload is for. If you have a Cricut machine and you want to upload an image you've designed in Cricut and bring it over to Canva, all you need to do is get rid of the grid. You know how in Design Space there's like a grid that you can move your images on the canvas. Okay, get rid of the grid, take a screenshot of the image, and then you just upload to Canva and remove the background, and there you've got your image. So that's another little quick tip. Okay, so now we need to put in that R for retirement. So the next one is text. Now you can either pick one of these. So for example, if I picked this one, like any text-based document, you've got all of your fonts here, which you can add to, you can upload. So say you go on to the font or Creative Fabrica, which is where I get all of my fonts. Now as a small business, I highly recommend, and this is what I do, I pay the commercial license. Now, when it comes to fonts and images, there is often a commercial license and a private license. If it's private license, things onto font, it's free. You can use it for yourself as much as you see fit. If you were to use it on, say for example, this savings challenge and then me put it in my Etsy store, I need the commercial license because it's their intellectual property. So I often buy those. If I'm going to use it a lot, I will buy it. So once I've bought it, I can then add it to my computer and it will come up in all of my fonts. So for example, with my logo, I bought 2 fonts and they're here. See how I've uploaded them? So you just upload the font. Now, if you don't want to use these, you can, if you didn't want to change the text, right, like change the font, if you didn't know what you wanted to use, in this tab here, there is like an extremely long list of fonts available that you can fully edit. So you'll probably recognize a lot of these from my savings challenges. So like there is so many. And then I will pick one because I'm going to show you better. I'm going to show you another tip and trick. Okay, so I think I'm going to go with this one. I'm going to go with this one for the font for the actual challenge, but I'm just going to do this one for the retirement. So move that into there, make it a bit bigger. Oh, I like that. So let's make it just that little bit bigger. Now see these lines that are appearing? That means that's lining everything up so that everything is even. So you'll see it again come into effect later, which is a lot more helpful. But there we go. Okay, so that's how I want my design to be. So once again, you select everything and group it. So now it's all one image again. Now, if you have seen any of my YouTube videos, you know that or if you've been to my Etsy store, I always have a circle around my icons. So now that we've got the pig how we wanted, we're going to go back into elements and we're going to get a circle. Put that around the piggy, highlight it again, and group it. So now we have got the icon and it's fully all one piece. Now I always do, on mine, I think I do 4 by 8. So what I need to do is highlight that. So when you highlight it, see how these buttons come up? Click duplicate. Now, when you're putting it together, I usually like them like that. So see that? Now there's 2 ways you can do it. You can either highlight these again and duplicate. Now, see the line? See how it's all lining them all up? And it's making sure that they're the same distance apart. So I always do one more. See the 0.1? That means that they're all the same width apart. Now, you can either do it that way, or let's duplicate it again. So see once again how it's lining them all up, making sure it's all lined up. So then duplicate, and see how it's populated it directly below. It's because I'm lining them all up. So if we go this way, now if I was to hit duplicate again, see how that's already all lined up, ready to go? So if you want, you can get the first 2 into place. Sorry. You can get the first 2 into place. And then just hit that duplicate button and it will line them all up. Or you can create like 1 or 2 and then group them together and then do it that way. So now that I've got these 10, I'm going to, oh, now, see when I highlighted that? See how this one is above all the others? It means that when I have been putting them into place, I haven't lined them up right. So we're going to get this one. We're going to shift it down just a little bit and see how it all lines up now. Sorry, I just touched the screen. See how it's all lined up again? So it's back into place. Now we're going to group them and see how it's all in line again. Now we're going to group them because that makes them one image. So resize them. Now so there we go. We've gone from having just 10, we've now got 20. You can then highlight them and group them. So now we've got 20. So then we duplicate. And now we've got 40. Sorry. And then download them and then group it. So that's all my icons. So all of my icons are in one bundle now, so that then if I want to release this, go back up into here and then make them bigger, and there we go. Can you start to see how the savings challenge is starting to take shape? So now that we've done our icons and we've got them, we've populated up into our final savings challenge, we're going to use this. This is the heading I want to use. So this is all one piece. Now, if you've got something that's all one piece and you want to divide it into a couple of pieces, go up to here and see this ungroup. Click that. So basically, you know with here how we grouped all of the images together to make one image, we're doing the reverse of that. So we have the full image and now we're breaking it down into parts. So we've hit ungroup and see how they're different now? It means you can edit each one individually. So let's highlight this one. Let's do retirement. Okay, I don't like that color, so we're going to go back into here. Now, with the image we used, with the piggy, it's populated all of the colors used in that image down into here. So, say for example, I'm like, yep, I want to do this green color. I can pick that green color, and then that matches the money in that image. That is often how I make my savings challenges look so cohesive, because I use the colors from the images. Now, I probably wouldn't choose a pink because there's already a lot of pink. I probably wouldn't use yellow. Not a big fan of yellow. It's perfect personal preference. But I really do like this green color. So, say for example, I'm like, I really like that green, but I don't like it in the font. I can turn around and change the border to green and this to say this pink, which I think I like that better, maybe. So I'm not quite sure on that. So let's go in and have a play. Now, I'm not a yellow fan, but I actually do like this more burnt out yellow. So I might just leave that for now. I'm going to leave it, we'll play with it more later. Now, when it comes to this part, you know what I've done though? I haven't saved myself an icon. So on all my challenges, I have a little icon here that matches these, and it's usually like this icon equals so many dollars. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to quickly ungroup this. I'm going to quickly so see how that's literally broken it down into every single part. So we need to get rid of that. And see how the text is behind there? Let's get rid of that. Okay, so we're going to highlight just one of them and group it, and then we're going to copy it. Then we're going to go back into here, highlight these, and group. And then once again, it's back where it should be. So that happens to me all the time. I always freaking forget. So now we go down here. Now, when you start working really small, you might have to zoom it in. Okay, so go back into the text, and we'll go equals. Now, see how when I did that, it shifted? That's why I like having that this extra one in there, because then I can pull this all down here and work on it, and it's not going to be impacting my design. Now, make this bigger, because we can always resize it. Now, say for example, you live in the UK, or a $sign's no good to you, so you go back up into your element section, and you can put pound, and all of the pound symbols come up. So we can remove that, move this into here, click in the pound. Now, this particular one is a paid version, but there is free versions on here. So there we go. And now we've got that image equals so many pounds. Okay. Say you're in, I don't know, somewhere that uses euro. I don't know what colours use euro. I'm sorry. Here's all the euro symbols. So then you resize. Say if you have an Etsy store, and you have someone reach out to you saying, well, I'm in, or if you notice that someone places an order, and if they're, for example, in the UK, I always reach out to them and say, hey, would you like me to put this into euro? Would you like me to put this into pounds? And it's very easy to convert, generally speaking. So I always offer that option. So there we go, and now we've got euros. So that's how I always do different currencies. So we'll go back to our. So it's another hint. If what you're doing is really big and it's too big for the box that it has, it'll go on top of each other like this. So all you need to do is extend that box, make it bigger, and they will both fit. Okay, so let's put this here. Highlight both and group them. So now that's one piece. Now, if I have a long-term savings challenge, or one that I need a lot of money for, it can be daunting to meet that goal with just 40 slots. So what I would do is I would make this smaller and just put it there. Then I would get my text again. I would go here and I will go completed. I would make this smaller. Then go back into elements. Now you've got this recently used section. So if you click on this, this is all of the icons I have used recently. So go up into my circle. Where'd it go? Sometimes it hides up in your image, so you just got to hunt them down. They're usually highlighted with purple, so they're easy to see. So I'm going to put this in here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9. See how it's making sure that they're all lined up, and 10. So I'm going to go through and highlight these and group them. bring this back down, and then this is when you can line this up. So I put this in, so when they finish this, to say they've coloured all of these in, they can colour a circle in, rub all this off, and start again. So say for example, you wanted this to equate to $500. By the time you get through 10 rounds of it, that's, what is that, 5,000? Yeah, 5,000. Say this equates to $1,000, then by the time you get to the end, it'll be 10,000. So I always like putting this completed section in for very long term or very high savings challenges. Like for example, my home deposit has it. Now we need to go back into our little dude here. Now, what I haven't done, which I need to fix, so I need to go ungroup because I made a mistake. I need to group these back before they all go everywhere. So in here, I'm going to do, why is that not working? Oh. Goal equals. I always like to put the goal in so that I know what I'm working for and how close I am getting, but you don't have to. Adjust that just a little bit. Okay, so group these together. Bring them up into here. Now that's way too big. So center that over here. Now see how it's not letting me make any more adjustments? It's because I'm starting to get really small. So all you need to do is zoom in, and then it lets you make adjustments again. Okay. Now zoom back out. We can get rid of this page. So if we wanted to lock this page, it would stop us from making edits. That's if you want to duplicate the page. So say you're doing multiple savings challenges and it's very similar, you're just changing little bits here and there, you can duplicate the page. See how it's made it the same? I'll make it this one. So click on the page, duplicate it. Why did that not work? Okay, we'll try it here. So duplicate, and see how it's made 2 copies? So say for example I wanted this to be senior activities. I could literally change this background image to something different and use the same images. So let's get rid of this. Okay, so now we're getting there. So bring this down here, and then there we go. Now we center it. I'm happy with the retirement. Let's just bring this up a little bit. Bring this up here. And then we can adjust the sizing again. There we go. Okay, I'm really liking how that looks right now. So we come up into here, into share. We hit download. Now, if you're going to put this on Etsy, I would suggest getting a PNG, which is a picture first, and using that in your listing. Or you go down into the down scroll button, and you can have JPEG, PNG, you can do PDF standard, PDF print, SVG. Now I have tried to make SVGs on here and import them into my Cricut. I have not been successful as yet. If you know how to do that, please let me know in the comments. You could convert it to a video, or you could convert it to a sound. So I always do PDF standard or PDF print. Then hit download. And then it'll pop up down here. I always check it to make sure it's fine. And there we go. It's done. So then I would print that and cut it out. Now, let me see. Projects, I'm not going to open that because it's got all of my, it's got personal information in it. Photos is the same. It's got all different photos in here. So, and these are all ones you can use. So, for example, if you were like doing a cooking video, you could put in cooking. If you had a makeup company, you could select some of these images. If you wanted to do a thumbnail, you can click on this image and then insert one that you like here. Let's see if I can. So let's do this. So I've just picked 2 images from that. So now we're gonna, because it's so small and fiddly, I highly recommend you zooming in. There we go. Then bring this one up. And now you've got a custom image. You could do the same with a tablet. So this is meant to be like an iPad. And there we go. So you can do so much stuff, like click in here, like there's laptops, there's phones. For example, for my like thumbnail picture, I might have this laptop and then have Canva here to indicate that I'm using Canva in my video. Like, you can do anything you want. So that's for the photos. For audio, I actually created my intro and outro for my YouTube videos in Canva. I use the ukulele song, so you can create a short video using the tools, so you're using the elements, using uploads, using text, photos, create your opening credits, and then add a song to it. And you can fully adapt where you want the song to start, where you want it to end, how long you want it to go for. Background, so say for example, I really like, so we're just going to go into a blank one for now. So say for example, I want this whole background to be something. I'll go into here. I've used this one quite a bit for my thumbnails. So see how it populated that whole, like the whole background. Then for example, I could go into elements. I can go into my recently used. I can pull up my, and there you go. So you can use a background in your thumbnails. Charts, for example, if you're like putting in data, if you wanted to show people data, there's a whole heap of options here. Now the only other hack that I've really got that I really like is if you scroll, so these are all the options here, lines and shapes and everything. Now these are called frames right here. So say for example, if you have a particular image that you want to use, but you can't quite get the sizing right, come into this frame section. So for example, well, he's using the example of the computer. So this is the image of a laptop. Right, so then go into elements. Let's see. Okay, so see this image here? That's not going to fit in there. So what we do is we drag that image into there, and see how it's kind of gone a bit funny, and we drop it, and it's basically put that image into that frame. So let's try something else. So delete image or delete frame. So let's have a look. Let's go into Let's pick a real random one. Here we go. This will be a good one. So this kind of looks like a paint strip. So let's go into elements. Let's click that same image. So see how the two images, if you pop it in, I think I need to find a better image because that's terrible. Jesus. Detach image. So let's pick something else. This one might be a better image. Okay, ready? So pop it in there. And see how it's put the image inside that frame? And then you can edit and animate to your heart's content. So you highlight the image, then you can go into crop. So then you can shift the original image around to get what you want. You can make it smaller, you can make it bigger. You can do a whole wide range of things. So for example, when I made my mermaid savings challenge with the flip the coin, I had to edit that image. So I put it into a circle frame and edit it that way. Now, say this is the image you want, and I want to put it behind, let's say put it behind a table. Say I'm making another savings challenge, and I want it to go behind a table like this. Sorry. So see how that's bright, and if I typed on that, it's not going to show up very well. So what I can do is I can hit that back image, and you go up to here, and it's transparency. So you hit that, and then see how it's starting to fade? So say for example I wanted to type over that, leave it there. So I can still see the image in the background, but if I was to type on it and put text over it, it's so much easier to see the text. Now, animate I've never really used, so I can't really say anything about that. Effects, so if we wanted to bend the text, we can. And then this down here is how much curve you want to it, or how little. Like I said, I've never really played with these a lot. But like I said, Canva's one of those things where you need to get in there and just play. So, for example, let's get rid of this curve. So, say we wanted more spacing between these letters. Go up here and go hit spacing. Now, if you want letters to be spaced further apart, see how the letters are moving apart? Or you can move them together. Or line spacing. So, say we've got more than one word. Click on this one, click on spacing. Now line spacing is how close or how far away the words are. So for example, I could say, have it like this, go into elements, click in YouTube, have a graphic, make it smaller, and slot it right into there. So that's the kind of things you can do using that tool. So we'll change the spacing again. And then dot points is the same. I'm trying to go through and okay, so let's get rid of that. Okay, so say I really like this, but I want it in A4. So go into the resize. A4 is this one. Now I want to keep this original. So we're going to go copy and resize, not just resize. Then it's going to do its magic. This is now an A4 sheet. So see how the border and everything has changed? So then I could make changes to make sure that it fit into an A4 space. Okay, and this is completely independent of the previous one. So this is a whole new challenge. So say for example I'm filling with it and I just don't like it, I can delete this and I've still got my original. I'm trying to think of anything else that I can think of. I think that's extended my knowledge, to be honest. I know you can lock it to make it so it doesn't move. I think that's pretty much it. If you have any other tips or tricks that you want to put down in the comments, please do so, because I love learning about this stuff, because I'm generally very basic in my knowledge. I kind of learn what I need to do really well, and then I don't really focus on anything else. So, but I do really like to learn, because oftentimes I can adapt it to my job or something like that. So, back into the search menu. So, say you wanted to do a YouTube thumbnail. And these are all the different, you'd probably recognize some of these because this is what I use for my own. So, like, these are all the different types, like, and designs, and, like, all of these are all editable. You can edit all of them. For example, say I wanted a beauty themed template. That brings up all of the beauty ones. Say I wanted a cat. Oh, I've never done that. So these ones are all like money themed. Yeah, so like it's one of those things where you need to get onto it and you need to play. So I hope that has helped, given you a really good start on how to use Canva to create your own savings challenges. If you have any questions, comments, notes, if you have any ideas, if you've got something that you could teach me, I would really, really appreciate it if you put it all down in the comments. I hope this video worked. Thank you so much for being here. Remember to live, laugh, love, and when life gets hard, just roll it in glitter. Bye, guys.